Hi, this is Tim Wheeler from the Dallas MTC. I wanted to light up an experience I recently created for healthcare, and the scenario is really sort of the remote advisor experience. So it's in this scenario, it's telehealth or telemedicine. Some of the technologies used are Azure Web Applications, SQL Server, Azure Maps, and Azure Communication Service. So it's going to take a couple of machines to put this together, but let me walk you through the steps to go through a demo. So the first thing I do is just click on the telehealth user, and that'll take us to a public-facing website that a customer could sort of wire into. So if I refresh this, notice that we're using Azure Maps to locate where you are. Because when we start this, there may be some scenarios where there's legal ramifications, where the physician is and where the patient is, and how to do treatment and things like that. So we might need to know sort of the location first of all. So once we get that, we can start the virtual visit. There's going to be no ramifications here. And so really try to get you into a scenario where we're finding out what we treat. So it could be COVID symptoms, common cold, and basically a link saying that, hey, if there's something other, let's go somewhere else. So these are the things that we'll treat inside of the telemedicine app. As a pro tip for the demo, if you just click on this gray bar down here at the bottom, it will fill in some predefined values for you so you can get through it quickly. In this case, we chose fever and flu symptoms and possible COVID. And then we'll go into the next stage. So I want to get patient details. So interested in patient information, gender, relationship to patient, things for insurance. Do we have a primary care physician? Those types of things. And then if there's any prescription that we might need, we want to capture pharmacy information. And so notice over on the right-hand side, we're capturing summary information from all of the previous steps. This way I can go in and I can just pre-fill one in. We also integrate with Azure Maps in a way where we can go and find a pharmacy near us if we're not for sure. So it'll take our zip code location, show us some pharmacies around, and I can hover over one. I can click on the header here where it says Pharmacy Plus and select that pharmacy, and then we'll pull that data in. So now we're ready for payment information, and this is pretty typical credit card processing, although this is all fake. And then we're going to purchase this. Then once the purchase goes through, we're ready to go, so we'll begin the virtual visit. So the first thing it'll do here is take us into what we call a virtual waiting room. And this could be a holding place where folks need to come in and maybe understand if maybe there's issues around just the connectivity. So we could theoretically have a chat session with a technical person to make sure that they have everything right. You can come in here and choose your camera and your microphones for that. And at this point, everything's good. So we're going to start the session. And so now it'll take us into the session, and at this point we're going to be waiting for the clinician. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this or pause this demo and switch over to the clinician's portal. So from the clinician perspective, we've got a clinician portal. We get there just by clicking the clinician link here. Open this up in a new tab. And it will take us over to a login page. Now it's just a pseudo login showing that we'd have integration in, and you can really put any doctor name in here. We do have a password. The password is MTC, just to possibly keep people from running up ACS bills. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and log in here. And so what it gives us is an overview of all of our patients that are out there, sorted by the time that they jumped in here. So I've got David right here, and I can come over here and check this. And we can hover over the symptoms. We can integrate with Microsoft Teams. I'll show that a little bit later in the demo, but I can get full details by clicking the information button, and it'll show us here that all the pieces of information that we capture, knowing that it's complete, so I can get an overview before I jump in as a clinician into this session. So at this point, I'll just enter the virtual visit. And since I have these both on in the same room, I need to mute the microphone. And it's showing me over at my other device here that I've got my session. So on the other scenario, other screen over here, it shows Dr. Neil Orante's username, and right here I can see that I'm talking to David Hamilton. So in this case, we could start the virtual visit. We also have some scenarios here where we're thinking about capturing some notes that we can do EMR integration with, or maybe even Dynamics integration, creating notes and things like that, depending on whatever the scenario looks like. But you can talk through a lot of scenarios here. So the final piece here would be possibly integrating this in with a Teams meeting. So, for a modern work integration into this, if we've got a healthcare team that is using Teams and we want to jump in and do some sort of consultation, we can easily do that. The second piece here is that I can, as a quick demo, I can just come over here and add a clinician by cell number. So in this case, I might this is Dr. John, and I'll use my cell number and add. And what this will do is this will send me a text on that note to join this meeting remotely via my mobile phone. So a couple ways to integrate folks into this. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up this call at this point from the clinician perspective, because having multiple people in the call creates large screens. I haven't done anything to have a third person with a smaller screen, so it gets a little bit out of control. So let me hang up here, and I'll jump over to my phone here, and let me bring in here, and we'll notice that I've got a new message here. And it says, Dr. John, you've been requested to join this virtual session. And I will say that I had to reset my default browser to Safari, because this doesn't work on Edge Mobile at this point. So I'll come over here and do a login here. We have consent for camera and mic. And we've got this, oops. So I've got my phone now connected into the meeting, so I can do consultations on top of this. So let me go and hang back up, just hang this call up. And the last piece I wanted to show you was the Teams integration. So if we're back over at the clinician portal, and the thing that we really have to do is we go into Teams, create a meeting, or if there's already one created, we want to really grab the join link out of the email. So I'm going to copy that join link. I'll come over here and overlay the current meeting ID with a Teams meeting. And it's a URL. I can save this. Now at this point, I can connect in to the meeting through Teams or the consultation for the remote session. So for this demo, what I've done is I've connected my other PC up here over to Teams meeting connected in through video. And so if I go back through the client portal and just refresh this page, it should show me the Teams integration. So it's got me connected now. And it's asking over on the team side to admit. And there we go. So I got admitted through the lobby, and it shows me that I've got Tim Wheeler over here, and Tim is a Teams member here integrated in. So that's the walkthrough of the demo for virtual health in a remote advisor scenario for healthcare. And hope you enjoy this, and hopefully you can use it. Thanks.